What exactly is halal? Halal basically just means permitted or lawful in Arabic, and it kind of relates to what halal consumers can eat, drink, or use. And the purpose of halal certification is just to ensure that any of these products that these consumers are eating or drinking are free from any prohibited ingredients. Examples are sort of pork, alcohol, blood, any kind of harmful chemicals and intoxicants and those kind of things. And we're seeing sort of strong demand for halal products worldwide as more and more people are sort of exporting from the UK. The global market for halal is increasing. And as you said about Australia, they have appreciation for halal, for sort of British products. We're seeing that in other countries as well, especially Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, as well as the Middle East, places like UAE, Saudi Arabia, these kind of places. They see the British products as a sort of stamp of very good, well-produced products, and they're very keen to import them. So the global halal food and drink market is estimated about $1.2 trillion in 2022, and it's going to increase to about 3 trillion in 2030, so sort of annual growth rate of 9%. And we see the key export regions being Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And what we're finding actually is that these countries are putting halal regulation in place, and it's sort of government controlled. And we're increasingly seeing different governments having their own sort of standards and regulation. And this can be tricky for exporters into these regions because different countries might have slightly different requirements in how they require the halal products to be certified. And for a lot of these companies, for a lot of these countries, such as Malaysia, Indonesia, and other UAE countries as well, they require halal certificate from an approved and accredited certification company such as ours. So we've been working sort of very hard over the past few years to obtain these certifications and accreditations from these governments and authorities. You can find more information about this online on our website, but very briefly, we're accredited by all major halal governments worldwide. So that would be Malaysia, Indonesia, Qatar, UAE, Saudi, South Korea also has their own, Singapore as well, and we're also a part of the World Halal Food Council. In terms of halal certification process and what this involves, it's a fairly simple process. You can apply through our website or email us, and as part of the application process, we'll ask a few questions in terms of how many products do you require certification, how many raw ingredients go into those products, do you produce any animal or pork-derived products on site, and then we'll have a review of the application, and then following that, we'll look at all the raw materials that go into that product and assess if they conform to halal standards. We'll also conduct a site visit to understand the manufacturing process, make sure there's no cross-contamination between any non-halal products. And once that's all okay, this goes to our decision committee, where we have food technologists as well as halal scholars who decide on the process, make sure that everything is conformed to halal standards, and then we can issue a halal certificate. So generally, it's a fairly simple process. The complexity arises if there are lots of raw materials being used. But again, we have lots of experience working with a range of producers from large multinationals to small artisanal producers. So we kind of service the whole range. And we've been in sort of business for about 30 years, and we've seen the halal market change from 30 years ago when no one really knew what halal was. There were no real standards out there. We had to create our own standards, to now governments having their own standards that we have to adhere to, and other halal certifiers and producers have to adhere to. That's in a nutshell halal. If you need more information, you can visit our website. We've got more information on the certification process, what is halal, what products are halal, more information about us, how we started, our kind of brand story as well. But feel free to email us for more information. We're happy to help, and we work closely with manufacturers and producers to sort of support them in that halal journey, be that learning more about the market, trying to assess if their products would be suitable for halal, if there's demand for their products, as well as the halal certification process and guiding them through that whole journey.